Hello, this is Amber Smith from In Due Season Homeschool, and today I am going to share our reveal of our Timberdoodle 10th grade curriculum. So I have officially unboxed everything to get it sorted out. Today is our official first day of school. So the kids have looked over what they have, and this is the complete 10th grade curriculum. And so I want to show you, I believe this is the elite package. So there are 3 stages of packages that you can get. They're outlined in this beautiful little handbook that they send you to explain everything. So I've really enjoyed reading this. This is actually meant for your student to read. And so as they go through, it gives them pointers how to schedule their week, how to plan ahead, how to avoid getting overwhelmed with the assignments in the book, how to maybe even shift some things from their schedule if they feel like there's a lot to do. It gives them some suggestions about ways to maybe move things around, or to choose some things maybe from the elite package that you could save for summer if you wanted to as well. So just full of some really good ideas. It's got some weekly checklists, and then it just talks about a reading challenge, how to figure credits, how to do grading and what to expect when they work. And then it has an overview of each of the books that are included in the curriculum, and talks about what it is, its scope and sequence, and gives your student an idea of the expectation that they're going to have from each thing. Also, so they're already familiar with each book as they get it. And so this breaks it up by topics, so they know what's in history, what's language arts. One thing I really like is this Timberdoodle high school planner. I got one for each of my students. I actually have 3 students that will be doing the 10th grade work. I will have a 9th grader, a 10th grader, and a 12th grader. And because we've homeschooled them together as a group, actually the 10th and 12th grader last year did government and economics with their brother as a senior, because they have homeschooled in groups. So that was one of the ways that I have had my homeschool be really manageable, is because even though we had 10 kids, we've only had 3 grades at a time. And that just reduces our grading and scheduling. So this is one way that we have tried to streamline our school day and make it a lot easier for us to manage. But this is the student planner that comes with this, so they can write out their typical day. I love that it gives them a place to kind of check their own attendance, create their long-term and short-term goals for themselves, and then write out like what a typical week looked like for themselves, so they can kind of block out areas that they know they're not going to be doing school. We have a 4-day school week. I work on Mondays, and so they work on all of their independent assignments on Mondays. Fridays, their dad will homeschool them, and so we tag team as a partnership since we purchased a new business last year. And one of the ways that we could do that was if we divided and conquered the workload. And so that meant that I picked up driving a truck, and my husband picked up doing school 1 day a week. So having a curriculum that has everything scheduled for us makes it a lot easier to do the handoff. So that is one of the things. If you're working in homeschooling right now, looking for a curriculum that has a specific schedule and tells everybody what to expect from themselves each day really makes it easier for you to either share with a partner, or share with maybe a grandparent, or even trade with another parent a specific day a week, so that maybe you can sleep if you work 3rd shift, or maybe you can just work on some personal goals, or like I said, work away from home that specific day and know that things are still getting covered. Now, since I have older teens, I know that they are going to work on their independent work that day. And actually my younger students, I have assigned some online school, and actually last year we worked ahead creating a plan because I knew I was going to be working away from home. And so one of the things I did was establish that online routine 1 day a week, so that this year they would already be in the habit. So this is a great little booklet. On the back, you have a personal link that gets you online access to the online scheduler. There, you can pick and choose the books that you purchased, either in the elite or in the other versions of the specific grade that you've chosen. Also, maybe you want to save something for summer, or you're pushing an activity till later in the year. You can uncheck that in the scheduler and not schedule it in your current schedule for the year. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, and I really love the online aspect, because sometimes maybe we've scheduled the whole year ahead of time and then we've taken an additional break. All I need to do is just adjust that on the online schedule, and it will bump everything to the next week as well, which just makes it really easy to keep track of what we're doing and not throw us off. And like I said, this year with working out of home, it just makes it so much easier if we know exactly what everybody is expected to do and when. So I want to show you a few of the things we have in here. This is also, we just printed off the schedule for the week. So as I went in the scheduler online with my code that I got from the 10th grade book, then I just created a schedule that I just called it the Smith's Scope and Sequence because we are the Smiths. And so made it really easy, but they have an overview of what's expected of them. I'm going to put that in their homeschool binder. And then it just has a schedule for the week. And see these beautiful check off boxes. So they could just go through and check off as they've completed things. I love the suggestion in the 10th grade booklet that said, hey, first thing to do, go through your checkoff list and check off anything that you're not doing right now. Maybe something that didn't come in your kit. If you didn't get the elite kit, then certain items are going to be included in the basic kit. And so check them off so that you already have a sense of accomplishment. And so you're not looking at this big overwhelming list, but you're looking at just what you specifically need to accomplish. So what is one of the reasons that I chose to go with Timberdoodle instead of the curriculum I've been using for 18 years? Well, my group of children that are homeschooling this year are just a little bit more of a hands-on team. Also, our lives are much busier. Doug and I have a business that we've bought, and so we're both running in different directions. I have been working on my personal writing and blogging, and so we needed something that just had a little bit more of a concrete structure and that was easier for the kids to follow with a little less interaction from me. Now, I'm not stepping back, but with my former curriculum, I did all of the reading, which was great. I loved reading to the kids. But at this age where we're at right now, we've read thousands and thousands of books together. I am not worried about their love of literature. What I am worried about is wrapping up high school really well and helping them to be independent in a way that fits them the best. So this is going to help them because it's a little bit more textbook based. And for this group of students, I feel like that's going to help them manage their day a lot better. So a few fun things that we've added that came with this curriculum. So I'll just give you a quick overview, okay? YouTube for teens. So there's a whole course they're going to go through. It's online based. This is the workbook that they have. And I went ahead for the first time ever and I bought the additional set of everything for each student. Now, I know if you are homeschooling multiples, you have probably done what I have done. And if there was a model to build or if there was a project to make, you bought one and everybody shared it. And financially, at certain periods of time, that is what we had to do. But I just thought this year, we're both working and I just wanted to invest in my kids a little more deeply. Plus, I wanted to see if that gave them a better experience with the tools that we have. And so you'll see with some of the tools we have, I went ahead and bought all 3 of those. So I'm gonna show you the textbooks first, and then we'll go through that. But the YouTube for teens, lessons are all gonna be online. So you'll follow through those. They're broken up very easily. It's a really fun course. We're doing film school for teens right now. And actually we're doing that with my younger kids. So they're early teens. But the lessons are really easy. You just go through the lesson and you just fill in the blanks. So just make sure they're paying attention. And then they have a little bit of an assignment to do to work on. So if you have a kid who maybe is dreaming of having their own YouTube channel, or maybe it's just investing a lot of time in TikTok or Snapchat, and you want to see like, hey, let's make this time useful. That's a great way to give them a tool in their hands to take a wasteful activity and turn it into something productive and open their eyes to see what they can do there. So that's Film School for Teens. This one has a dot-to-dot book, but it is not your typical dot-to-dot. These go up to 1,000. These are fantastic for when I am reading or when maybe they're sharing the workload and reading out loud. Then this is something for them to do in the meantime to help them engage their hands, just like they would with taking notes, but it gives them a chance to just occupy themselves and then make some beautiful art and be creative with their minds while they're listening with their ears. So if you have a fidgety student or a student that just has a hard time maybe listening and concentrating for longer periods of time, sometimes occupying their hand and occupying their eyes is a great way to just distract the rest of their physical need to move and helps them occupy their mind a little bit better. So then for English, we are using Paradigm Accelerated Curriculum. This one comes in just these little packlets. So I went to parochial school and I was an ACE kid. And so I know there's a lot of these kinds of curriculums that come in a packet like that. But what I liked was that they're looking at one booklet each time that they get this out. So instead of having a huge binder, because we moved to the textbook based, I wanted them to have a few things that came with maybe just a little bit more simplified look to it. So they have an activity book here, and then they have the textbook here, and they just correlate together. This one is for their integrated physics and chemistry, just to make sure I was right there. And this one's for English composition. So English and then science are covered in these Paradigm Accelerated Curriculum packets. So they'll be doing those as a group together, but then also they can work independently. So here's the textbook that goes with that one. It also has a great little guide. Each of these came with a sheet within them that basically works through how to use these tools. Then it has clear instructions for you and your student. This one's about using it for labs, but this one's just how to generally use the course, and also says like what's all involved in it and what's included. Then it also has these little QR codes within where you can maybe scan the code and get a video or further information. Not necessary, you don't have to include a phone or that use in the curriculum, but it is offered as an extra benefit. So if you have a child who loves their device and wants to include it, this is a good way to include it in a good way. So I like things that integrate technology because my kids love their technology. And so I want to find ways to use it in healthy and good ways with their school. So again, this is our math. We are using Matthew C this year. I have used Matthew C in the past, and so I have not used it at the higher levels. And so this is Algebra 2 that I'll be doing with my older kids. They did Algebra 2 last year, but this is not my math skilled students. And so we're gonna go ahead and go a deep overview for this before they exit high school. I don't have students that are planning on attending full-time college, but this will comply, so they will have their 3 credits. They did geometry last year, and so going back to do this overview, they will still have their 3 math credits that they need if they do want to go to college. So I'm always keeping that in mind of the requirements that are necessary. And I'll put a link to an article that I wrote about how to plan your 4 years for high school and help you kind of get an overview of creating that plan. But Matthew C is what we're using. And then this is Latin Roots. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Critical Thinking Company. This is Word Roots. We have done Latin in the past. And so, but this one's just gonna go through all of the word roots and help your children know in depth the meaning of the language. This helps in spelling. This is great for a student who maybe is slightly dyslexic and just needs some rules and factors to hold those spelling things concretely in their mind. And so I thought this would be good help. Also, we're doing the SAT prep, and so understanding vocabulary words, breaking them down and knowing the roots of them is a great way to make sure that they can help discover what an unfamiliar word is. So we are doing this, and each one just has their own workbook, and it's just a chapter a day or a sheet a day. So I will look through the schedule and find out. And I love Critical Thinking Company. I have used them since kindergarten. And so we try to supplement our curriculum every year with some tools that are made by them, and they're just a great company to work with. So this one, Practical Critical Thinking, can you just say how much the world needs critical thinking right now? If you've spent a hot minute online, then you will be thankful that you have added critical thinking to your school curriculum. So we'll go a little bit more in depth in these things as we use them, but again, I love the Critical Thinking Company, and we have done logic and rhetoric from them in the past with my older son who is now going to law school. And so I feel like this is a vital addition to a homeschool. And of course, we want critical thinkers, okay? We don't want people who are just inflammatory responders. We want people who give deep thought to their responses to culture issues and things that are relevant in the world today. This book is Implications of Literature. So this is gonna be their literature book that they'll go through. And again, we have done literature-based homeschool our whole lives, so we have read a ton of independent books. So I thought, just in preparation for college, since 2 of my kids will be graduating next year, or this at the end of this school year, I just thought maybe to do a turn in textbooks so that they're familiar with how they're ordered, how they're familiar with how you're expected to find the information and use it as a tool. I would like them to have some familiarity with textbooks as a learning tool before they go into the college atmosphere, just in case that is something that they have to use during their school time. So again, it's just chapters, it's got discussion things, it's got vocabulary, there are some exercises for each chapter as well, and then tests to follow. So you can get a little scope and sequence, but you can also assign things. So as your teens are working independently, it's important to have some accountability. That's where every week I create an expectation. Obviously, we've printed the schedule sheet, but then also I'm going to create accountability to check out at the end of the week, so we know everybody's on the same page and are doing the things that are expected of them. So, and again, we're going through the SAT prep as part of our exit plan. I was homeschooled in high school. I went to public school till sophomore year. My mom pulled me out at almost the end of my sophomore year. I like to say I was involuntarily homeschooled. But I took some classes at the local community college, and I took enough classes that when I applied as an adult for the graphic design program, I was already in their system. So I had never gone through the process of high school graduation or college application. So when my kids got to the place where they were ready to graduate and look at college, I had no idea what was expected. I had never taken the SAT or ACTs. I did not know anything about them. I did not plan ahead. Fortunately, my oldest was able to get a good enough score that he was able to get a full academic ride for his college. But my younger two, their scores fell just below the mark to get a full ride scholarship. So they are one step under that. They still got a great scholarship. So don't let anybody tell you that homeschooling will keep you from having your children be able to go to college or keep them from getting scholarship dollars. But I have learned my lesson, and my juniors will be prepping, so they take this test the junior year, and then they have time. If they need to improve their score, they can take it their senior year as well. So I do hear kids waking up, so I will get through the rest of these. Again, this one goes with the rest of chemistry. I'll go over these in a second, but this is the textbook for algebra. This is the teacher's manual for the Critical Thinking Company. So I have a tool to help them process the information and work through that as well. This is a DVD to help them go through their math, which appeals to me greatly. So I cannot wait to get into this and start looking. I have not used the video portion of Matthew C before, so I'm interested to see what that is like as well. Chemistry 101, this is an overview of God's chemical world. So this is a Christian high school level DVD course from Westfield Studios, and it is just going to walk us through the world of chemistry. And so I'm excited because I have never taken chemistry. My oldest son basically locked himself in an office and did chemistry on his own his senior year because his mother is mathematically challenged. And so he was able to work through those things and understand it very well. And so I allowed him and just checked his work, and he did a great job. And so I was not involved in that. So I'm looking forward to being involved in this round of chemistry as well. And then of course there's a physics 101 as well. So that one is going to be a video demonstration of the things that we're maybe learning in their physics course as well. So this is a complement to the pack pamphlets that we have. If you have some drivers, which I have two that just got their permits, so they're very excited to begin driving with me. Here is Roadworthy, a parent's guide to teaching teens to drive. Maybe this can just do some nagging for you, so you don't have to do it all. Maybe, but you're probably gonna still nag. Anyway, this is one thing that really appealed to me about Timberdoodle is the hands-on components. So I would love to share some of the things. This one I am super looking forward to. I don't know if you can see it all, but this is the steam engine. I can't read it, but Steamanex the Connect to Future Scientists. My son was like, does it drive? Can I drive it? I'm like, I think it's made of plastic, so I don't think it has gas, but it will work. It is battery powered. So I am interested in seeing this. I'll let you see the little parts list here. There are a lot of working parts. This year I got 3, so everybody gets to build their own model. They're very excited about it. And my son-in-law is a gearhead. He has been working on motorcycles and 4-wheelers his whole life. So actually he is gonna help with this portion of the course. That's where I say, find somebody who's passionate about a topic and let them jump in. Another hands-on component to try something. This one is a felt needle kit. It has everything that you need within the kit. So I love, it's beautiful. It has so much detail, but I love this. You'll have to check out this booklet. Here's everything that's in the kit. So everything you need is here. I love that you've included these little leather guards so that your child doesn't pierce their fingers with these little needles, but it's for high schoolers, so you should be safe. But this booklet is fantastic. We were looking through it the other day, and very detailed instructions. You are not going to be lost. If you are not crafty and you have no idea, there is no weight on you at all whatsoever. You do not need to offer any information. Everything you need is in here, which I really like because I don't have time to help with everything. Like I said, I am homeschooling 7 this year, and by the time my children are in high school, they're fairly independently working. And so I really need tools that can help them be independent. And oftentimes this is why electives get left behind, because electives takes time. And if you don't have the extra time, then math and science and reading and language arts, social studies have to be done. Art and creativity doesn't have to be done. And so if you don't have something that helps you get that into their hands with all the instructions they need, then you might skip it. And I hate to see that happen because these are their last few years to try new things. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. A few fun add-ons is this Not So Fast, which I am obsessed with knots. And so this one is a dexterity game, but also you're learning how to make knots at the same time. So I will be challenging my kids with this, and that is scheduled in the schedule as well. This one, my daughter was asking about geography. She really wants to learn about the countries and the nations of the world. And so this is a great addition because you are going to create the flags from all the countries on the list. And so it's just perfect that this fell into the 10th grade curriculum. So she's going to be able to explore those. And then I have a book that just talks about the different countries. So I think I'll add that as just a companion to this as well. This one is Candygrams, and it is just a crossword puzzle game. And actually this one can be used for the whole family. It's 7 and up. And so of course we always love to integrate our younger children with our teens, and games is a great way to do that and put them together. So so that's fun. Angry Putty, which we have already played with, and it is very fun. But yeah, for your kinesthetic people, your hands-on people, maybe one who fidgets while you're reading, this is a great thing to do. As my teens work together, oftentimes they will take turns doing the reading of like their textbook. Last year they did a science that was a textbook, and so they did a majority of the reading in groups, and so they would just read to each other. This one is my year of writing, 365 creative writing activities. And so this one just gives them a prompt each day. So you don't have to think of one, and you don't have to come up with it. It's already in here. I love that. How to draw. These are books that are included. They are scheduled in the schedule, and so they will come up throughout the year. So these aren't specifically to a specific child, but they are just for everybody to read. How to draw almost every day. So that one just gives them some ideas and organize, again, some creativity. I like Timberdoodle's mix of hands-on work to textbook work, physical learning, and hands-on learning to textbook learning. I like this balance. And I feel like this group of students is much more kinesthetic, auditory, hands-on. And so it's been a challenge to kind of help them learn through just an only literature based. And so we have added more things, but like I said, I'm not a great planner. And so trying to figure out physical tools and supplements for them, for my more hands-on learner, has been stressful, to say the least. And so I think making this move to Timberdoodle that has a lot more hands-on activities is going to be really good for us. So wrap up the last few. This is what's your world view? An interactive approach to life's big questions. These are in our reading list. The Faithful Spy, I think this one's like a true story. It's a biography. So we're going to go through that one as well. Irina, book 1 of the Wartime Ghetto. So this is a little bit of our history. I was just reading a review about this. The Amazing Dr. Ransom's Bestiary of Adorable Fallacies. This talks about fallacies that we believe, and it gives them kind of an imaginary creature name. I have not explored this in depth, but I first looked through the book and I was like, what is this book? And so then I got on some reviews and read the premise and the author's idea and plan to help your children understand what they're being told and digest information in a better way. And so this fallacy basically helps them identify like how people are presenting information and what avenue they're using to help them make better decisions, like a really good companion to the critical thinking. Hands-on learning, this one investigating a car crash, forces in motion. We're talking about physics again, and so this is a way that they're going to use the information they learned in that physics to investigate a car crash. Using the information provided, they will figure out the clues and come to a conclusion on what happened. So again, a little hands-on learning for them. True stories of the Revolutionary War. Again, for my child who wants to know more about history, I think this is great. This one's like a graphic novel based, and so just some stories to capture their interest. Sometimes we want to go deep, and sometimes we just want to capture their hearts and show them that there's interesting information out there. So we're getting to the end. Again, I had that world of dot to dots, so I shared that before. And then this one is the spine of our history, and this is the mystery of history. This one we're doing is volume 4. So again, this is kind of a good meaty textbook. We've done quite a few, and anytime you do a unit study, you're always going to have like a spine book that's going to be your core reading, and then you're going to supplement with some different readings for other topics throughout as you go. So this is our core for that as well. So that is an overview of our Timberdoodle 10th grade curriculum. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to using it with my more hands-on students, and also just getting a solid exit plan for them as they're wrapping up their high school years. So I appreciate you checking in. And like I said, we will do a few more overviews of the specific books as I get into them. So if you have a question about a specific one, or if you'd like to tell me like, hey, I want to look at that a little bit more, we'll go a little bit deeper in some of the other things as we do them. And so I am looking forward to presenting each of these things as we go throughout our school year. So again, my name is Amber Smith. I blog at 200fingersandtoes.com. So if you want to look for more or see our current reviews, you can check me out there. And also, if you're looking for homeschool help, I've created a course at induseason.net that will help you either 30 days to your homeschool reset your homeschool and get back on track, or you have the full course of the 6 keys to your best homeschool year, and that is going to help you establish a plan for your homeschool that will keep you on track and moving forward with your goals from kindergarten to graduation if you so see fit. So anyway, again, Amber Smith, and I look forward to sharing with you. Have a great day.